Bonjour, bonsoir, à bientôt.
Digga, was?
De Rion, we are in France. Not in Paris.
In Lille, currently.
We're in Lille. And we are here to talk about the finances of Cardistry Experience 2023.
And about another secret project we just did. But
crazy.
More about that later. Watch to the end.
One of the many secret
Yeah.
projects, you have to say, that we are working on, of course, as very important cardistry people. The thing is that we are actually, because of all the amazing, many crazy projects we are currently traveling around Europe again. It is insane. Today we met up with Tristan, actually, shout out to him. We thought that we would just sit down in this beautiful park here and have a little bit of a conversation about Cardistry Experience 2023, reveal some more insight into it, and especially share the finances with all of you. And I think we will just start with that right away, right?
Yeah, right. So the last podcast was right after the event, right after XP23. But it was like immediately afterwards, so it was with all of the impressions. Hopefully you heard that, you listened to it.
If not, click above Mattis' head and watch it now.
Is it on this side, or do you have to flip the image?
I'm pretty sure
it
is there.
Perfect. So yeah, now some time passed. It's been a month since the event, a bit more than a month, and so we had time to look at everything and to make the first videos ready and pay the bills. Mm-hmm. So now we have the finance list, actually. So would you like to read it out, or should I do it, or however
Let me read it.
you like? So let's start with how many people were at the event. Can you maybe tell me the numbers?
Warte mal, aber sind jetzt oben die Einnahmen oder was? Oder wo sind die?
Okay, so I want to read all the numbers to you guys. So at the event we had 70 people. So 59 people bought a ticket online, and then we had headliners and people who helped out and ourselves. Mm-hmm. We made 5,279 euros with that. And we also made some money through the shop we had. So we made a bit over 2,350 euros through the shop we had at the event.
Right, and that is combining all of our products that we sold, like the You Didn't Even Know and XP playing cards, as well as the drinks we sold. So that means in total, what are the total proceeds?
In total, it's a bit over 7,600 euros. Mm-hmm. But we also had to spend some money on the event.
Don't tell me about it, man.
That is the annoying part.
I don't want to hear about that.
So we don't have 7,000 euros in our pockets right now because we had to spend some money on stuff. So we don't want to get into all the separate payment. I think that would be really boring to listen, how much was stickers, how much was that. Yeah. So I just bundled the costs together to some categories, and we will go through that.
Right.
And explain a bit what is in that category.
Should I do those and you explain?
Yeah, we can do it.
All right, so rent for the location and the tech inside, so the stages and the speakers and all of that, everything inside the location was in total a bit over 1,500 euros. Items within the goodie bag, so the goodie bag itself, printing the goodie bag,
the booklet.
Exactly, the booklet, the little strip tying the decks together, and all of that.
The stickers.
Just over 1,000 euros. The shop. So items we have produced our You Didn't Even Know playing cards, and
the
some
t-shirts.
T-shirts, yeah, and some other items as well. For those we spent a bit over 1,900 euros. For people who helped out, so we had Zeno who did a video, we had Bruno helping out during the event, and we have a person helping us out with taxes, actually, which is kind of annoying, but obviously you have to take care of that
which is good that we have a person.
Exactly, yeah, we are super thankful to the person who's helping us with that. To those people we paid about 900 euros. Then we had the website and just everything associated with that, with the with having a website and hosting the website. That was about 500 euros. And then there were transaction fees for if you pay with PayPal, for example, or with MasterCard, then there's a transaction fee. and also just processing fees with the provider who kind of gives the infrastructure of selling tickets online.
And that is for selling tickets online and at the shop. So if you buy something at our
Exactly,
shop
yeah,
at the
and
event, we also
right.
have transaction fees.
Exactly.
So
When you pay something by card at the shop, you have transaction fees as well.
Yeah.
So that ends out. It's an approximate number. It's difficult to calculate that up exactly, but it ends up to be about 250 euros. And then there's one final, just various miscellaneous stuff, like buying markers on the day off, or getting napkins for people to dry off their hands in the bathroom and stuff like that. And for those kind of things, we spent a bit over 140 euros as well, which ends up to be an exact figure of 6,276 euros and 94 cents spent in total on this year's event.
And so I don't remember how much we made. So can you add those numbers up again and tell, like, what is the profit? What do we have in our pockets right now?
Let's get it, dude. Right, but left and right and back in the pockets, the bills. So Mattis has rounded those up just to make it easier to calculate. So the total proceeds of the event were about 7,600 euros. We had costs of about 6,190 euros. So that leaves us with a profit of 1,410 euros. So a quick little disclaimer for that. There is some stuff that is kind of, it's some moving parts to that, so it could very well still be a bit more or a bit less depending on some payments that are still pending. Some international transfers, there are always fees for that as well, and you never know exactly how much that's going to be because it always depends on the currency exchange and stuff like that. So yes, but
and for example, also, like, just some small numbers, but just so that you understand that some things happen afterwards. There were some people who bought a ticket but didn't show up at the event, and I'm not quite sure if the shipping costs for those goodie bags we sent out are in there or not. So some stuff is still happening afterwards that we still need to pay, and some things are just not clear with exact numbers. But this is like really close to the exact number. This is like the closest we know about the exact numbers.
Yeah. And that's so funny, just for everybody to understand, because it might seem a bit odd. People would say, hey, just look how much money you have left, and then you will know how much money you made. But it's not that easy, actually, because with a bank account, and there are so many transfers coming in, transfers coming out, some payments who still have to be made. So we actually have more money in our bank account right now, but we still have to make payments, certain payments, right? So there are some things that are delayed. So just for everybody to understand, it really is not as easy as just picking up your phone and looking how much money is in the bank account, because that is not a...
That was how it worked for our first event.
Exactly, yeah. That worked like that, but now it's just not like that anymore. So, this is about as close as we can get to saying how the finances look for this year. And I think we can be pretty happy with that, right?
Yeah, it's not enough money to pay well for the work that we do. So we don't pay ourselves with that. We still keep it in for the next projects. We have big things planned, we can say. Right. But like, for example, for the next event, we are doing a next event, if you didn't got that in the last episode. And we always need to pay, like, most of the time, some things before we sell the tickets. So we need some money in the bank account.
Sure.
And so there's like no way to like use that money just for ourselves to buy ourselves something with that. Hopefully that might happen sometime in the future. Yeah. But this is like we can really be happy with that. And it was everything went really well. Everything worked out. But it, like, if you compare it with a year of work, then it is not like a lot of money we made from the event.
Right, I think that is just something that everybody has to keep in mind. So we try to pay everybody who we work with, who really helps, like Bruno, for example, who was there for 5 days helping us out. And Sina, who does the video, we try to pay every one of these friends who are really working for us during that time, but we can't give them a fair wage at all. So they just get, it's more of a gesture to have them get some money at all. But with this budget, if you would factor into that, if, for example, Mattis and I were like, hey, we both want to get 500 euros out of this, then suddenly we wouldn't have a lot of money left at all. So you have to remember that. And when you think, oh, guys, you can be happy you made this event and you made you made over 1,000 euros with that, that's great. But then again, yes, it has been work over for this event, over like a year worth of work. And then also it is our third event already, right? So we are in this for a long time already, have never paid ourselves a single cent, and aren't doing so now either. So we, as people who are really at sometimes working so many hours per week on this project, especially of course during the event, we are not paying ourselves at all. So right, so that is why now we have some money left over. If we would go ahead and try to try to pay ourselves a wage, then we would be making minus. We wouldn't, it's not possible. That's why we don't do that, and we just leave all the money in the event for now. Try to make as good as a fourth Cardistry experience as possible, and hopefully, because that is of course a thing we have to work towards. Mattis has just moved into his first own apartment.
Yeah.
Woo! And that's pretty exciting, but that also costs a lot of money, of course, right? And so we are at a point where we really want to be able to both earn some money from our work that we do here. And yeah, that is why also we just want to give full disclosure about how the finances are looking. This year we are again super happy with how it turned out, and that we didn't make minus, but do have some budget to get working right away in the next event. But yeah, we are still far away from the point where we could pay ourselves for this event. And one more thing I just want to mention, for example, now we are on a trip. We are both in France, and we are basically here for Cardistry experience.
Yeah.
Right. So this is to work on.
We haven't talked about this here before.
Exactly. Yeah.
But yeah, we have some, we are also having a bit of vacation here, having a nice time, meeting up with Tristan just to have a nice time to jam. But also we are working on projects here, and
Yeah. For example, like we posted on Instagram, so we can say that here too. We do have a presentation doing Cardistry Con, which is going to be very exciting, which is a big thing for us. So everybody who's going to go to Cardistry Con can look forward to that. And so for that, we are preparing stuff here right now, meeting up with people and filming stuff and this and that, and just preparing that. And then obviously we are going to Cardistry Con as well. So we both bought tickets, we both bought flights, we both bought accommodation, and just for everybody to understand, we are paying that by ourselves. So in that regard, we do pay into this project privately, because we are not taking the money we made from the event to pay for the trips we take to promote this event even further, if that makes any sense. So just to be totally clear with that, and yes, it is a big motivation to see that this year we were able to still have such a good outcome, but also I think we both agree that for the next event we are still in a process of having the need we just have to get to a point where we are able to pay ourselves for the work that we do in order to make this a sustainable project. And yes, in case I think we'll move on from this now, but in case anybody has any more questions about that, about how we try to organize this, we're trying to be as transparent as possible without boring anyone with like the exactest numbers. So in case there are any more open questions, just hit us up on Instagram, and we're happy to help out. Yeah.
And if you like to support us even more and help fund the next event, then we still have both of our decks available at the shop, as well as the photo book. And what are you doing there? And I still haven't seen the photo book. What is going on there?
That's actually right.
Why have I not seen that yet?
Dude, why have I not seen this? This is fucking kind of disgusting and kind of crazy at the same time. Yeah, so Mattis has not seen the photo book yet, but it's because you didn't buy any. If you had bought one, I would have been at your place already, so.
No, but not before I left.
Yeah, it's your fault.
Okay, so the point is, Nick and I have not seen each other for the last month. Mm-hmm. You have been, in Hamburg before when I went back home, And then you've been in Greece, and so you traveled a bit, and I was at home and also traveled a bit. And so we haven't met each other, and we ordered one prototype of that book, and you sent me a few pictures, but not of like everything. And so I still haven't seen the whole book. And we might film a little reaction later, right? Maybe you can show it to me and then...
Yeah, we can do that. And the funny thing is that we actually, because the shipping went really fast, so most people have the photo book now. So I didn't expect that you wouldn't see it up until now, but it is how it is. And yeah, we can film a little clip, maybe even put it in here, or post it separately.
Or you have to check out our Instagram.
Right, yeah, get to that.
But enough cross-promotion here to our other platforms. There's another thing we wanted to talk about.
Yeah, actually, we have posted about this on Instagram already. Now we probably can. I think we can talk about it, right? About the entire thing.
Yeah, maybe I think I wouldn't put like names or a thing in there, but we can be a bit more open than
also
last time.
Because we haven't been paid yet, so we should probably wait until we are totally sure that everything has worked out before we drop anything. So, yeah, we have posted to our Instagram story as well. The other day, when actually, funny enough, when we were packing up the decks
for the goodie bags,
yeah, we were just sitting in my parents' garden and had like 900 decks on the table, which was insane, and just tying them together with the small strips of paper. And then I got a call, and the funny thing is, whenever I get a call, an unknown call, you guys can actually let us know. I would be very interested in that if you pick up the phone when a number calls you that you don't have saved. Because I know
make that a poll under the
exactly,
Spotify.
Right, that's a good thing. Because actually, I definitely checked that out. Because I know many people who don't. If they don't know the number, they just don't pick up. But for me, for so long, it has been the case that I always pick up the phone, because it so often happens. Also, I switch my phone fairly often, and sometimes I don't save the numbers again. But it so often happens that because I travel a lot, I go hiking on long distance hikes, and then you meet someone, give out your number, and you don't save it back, and it could be one of those people. For us, because we have a lot of international shipments, and the shippers always ask for a number. It could be the tax office calling and saying, "Hey guys, you have a package here. Please send us this, and that, so we can do the taxes and you can get your package," right? It could be like a sponsor shipment.
Or it can be a film company.
Yes, and it was actually this case. Yeah, Mattis, tell us about it.
So yeah, we were at the table. Oh yeah, we got another call before that. That was like a weird scam call, just like 10 minutes before the other call. So it was like somebody inviting us to something, and like some kind of scam call, some weird shit. And then the phone was like ringing again, and we thought, okay, some other weird shit. And then they said, "Oh yeah, you're the guys from Cardistry Experience, right? We need somebody to perform some cardistry for a German like TV show, a TV series that is coming out, and they needed someone to perform and actually hand double one of the actors of that series." And in the beginning, they were asking for a female person. And so we asked around and tried to find somebody. I don't actually know how that ended up. I think they found somebody, maybe not a female one, but somebody to help out with that.
Yeah, actually it was also a guy, a magic person, and they just got them. And we ended up, it was a bit of a back and forth, because they, as Mattis said, wanted to get female hands, but we weren't able to. We were talking to our network of people from the event and stuff, but it was also a very tight timeline, so they wanted to film very soon.
It was like they called shortly before the event when we packed up the stuff, and they wanted to film like 2 weeks later or something.
Exactly, yeah, right after. And so that was kind of difficult, but we kept in contact with the person, and actually then he came back to us. He called us again. And there were, as I said, a lot of back and forth. The one date, and then was the next date, and another date, and all of that stuff. But we ended up coming to an agreement, and actually went there, and we both went there. Mattis got the job. They chose Mattis' hands for the doubling. But I had the opportunity. It was very nice that they invited me to come by, and we had the opportunity to spend half a day at the set. At a film set, an actual film set, which is for a TV show, but it was very professional.
Yeah.
Right? I had never seen that before. Just for TV production, very interesting to see that. And we actually do have some photos. I think we might be able to put them into because it doesn't give away what kind of show it is. So we'll see. Maybe we can show some pictures right here in the finished episode. Or if you hear it on Spotify, go check out the video on YouTube to see if we put in the photos. And if not, you can be mad at us. That's all right.
That's all right. Yeah, we don't have much time to edit this episode. So,
right, that is
so
right.
Actually, might just not put much in there.
And that is right. But I will try to think about it. Otherwise, hit me up on Instagram and yell at me if you want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just a great nice experience, and we wanted to share this because the other day also a good friend of ours and former attendee of the event, Joel. Maybe some of you follow him on Instagram. His tag is sjb.fan, so sjb.fan. And maybe some people know him who were at the event. He, for example, had a nice...
He was at the event last year, not this one. Yeah.
Exactly, at the second event he was there. And he, for example, had a nice little conversation with people in his Instagram story about Cardist earning money and how that could go and and all of that. And that was just another reminder for us that some people really... There are very few instances of people earning money with cardistry. And so we just wanted to come on here and share the story because actually... And this all, just so you know, this all just of course happens because we have our website, right? We have our website, Cardistry Experience. It is obviously on hertz.berlin, so that's a bit odd. But you can find, if you Google Cardistry Experience, if you Google Cardistry Hamburg, you can find us. So, and that just enables people who look for card shuffling, card tricks, cardistry, right? That is the way, as they have told us, these people have found us. And actually, it has been the second time already that Mattis has done a hand-doubling job through this, which is super crazy. And we just wanted to share this experience. And also maybe if you guys have any questions about that, feel free to just reach out. But we just wanted to share this and encourage everyone. Hey, there are ways to probably not earn a living too easily, but earn some money through cardistry. And it's all about putting yourself out there. You know, like I know cardistry happens on Instagram, and we all think that Instagram is fucking the shit. Yeah. But I just think that we're at a time where we at a community can start to branch out, because honestly, like hands down, social media platforms die at some point. We don't know how long Instagram is going to be around. Who knows? Maybe tomorrow the next TikTok comes around and it's going to be the next thing, right? And I'm kind of worried about that when Instagram starts to kind of go downhill, what is going to happen to the cardistry experience? So, and then there are we are working on our website, and we don't only use it as a shop, but try to also have some information about the event. There are some videos and stuff. And then there are people who are doing more YouTube videos, and we just really wanted to share this story and empower everyone that if you want to pursue cardistry in a more professional kind of way, then there are chances if you put yourself out there, if you show the world.
It often happens not because you try to make money off anything, but like that happened, they just called us because we had something about cardistry on our page. We didn't say, oh, we are doing hand doubling and we want money for that.
Right.
But just do stuff, go out there, show who you are, and then in the end, hopefully, not every time, but people will find you and hit you up about something. And so many people delete all their old stuff and try to not be seen by many people, but it's so good to just have something out there and have the opportunity that other people can see something, see who you are, reach out to you. Those were two really great experiences. Those two times I've been to the film sets. Like both times we didn't film much. Like this time it was just one take and that was it. And last time it was similar. But it was really great to just get to know how a film set looks. Like, we both have never worked with big TV productions or anything before. I've worked with a TV series when I did the Chocolate Project, but that was one person from the TV company coming to our town with a small camera and filming it all herself.
Lovely.
At those projects we had like multiple people that were just there for the camera, and then
an entire building, like an entire abandoned factory with everything set up. It was very nice.
Crazy.
Your call. Do you want to share what you made on those jobs, just for reference?
We can. Nah. I don't know. Like I don't know if they are fine with that.
Nobody
I don't
gives
know.
a fuck. We didn't sign an NDA. So second job got 300 euros. So, but just to put it into context, like this is not crazy money, you know, but it is.
I also wasn't sure about the exact numbers, so it's good that you.
Yeah,
because actually
fucking hell.
Nick managed it a bit for me, and he was the one talking to them and making the agreement. And I was like, yeah, do your stuff, agree on something with them, and we'll be fine.
Yeah.
But I was just there to do it, and Nick did the talking to them and the agreement.
Yes.
So it's good that you have the stuff in mind.
Yeah. So yeah, and I just want to like this is not either to brag, but also just to make sure if some people have like crazy numbers in mind, like this is not crazy money you make. Of course, it's Cardistry handdoubling. They have so much other things to do, and they could also get other people. Of course, you could hit up poker players or magicians or stuff. But it is legit money. They filmed like a small scene. We were there for a couple hours. We were there for 2 people. And yes, just to give you all an insight into this, I have been, whenever I saw people earning money with Cardistry, I've been super interested in that. And I would have loved for someone to share like exact figures. So that is why we are doing this right now.
And if you are the owner of a film company that needs somebody for hand-doubling, hit us up.
we have crazy hands.
Yeah, we can show them here just in case.
Mine are very tan right now. Look at this. Mattis look like cheese and mine look like a steak.
Yeah, so you might also take Nick, because I'm worried that he will stop working with me if they always just use me for the hand-doubling.
Actually, both times we offered both ourselves our hands, and they both times chose Mattis. So I'm hurt.
And I have like the fucked up hands.
Right, here's like
my thumb doesn't really work. Like I don't know, like people don't know about this. There's nothing I talk about much, but like I cannot like really bend my thumb, the left one. And so also my hands are like not the slim, nice hands. I have hands. What should I say? But
he has really manly hands, dude.
Yeah, so
that's why they like it.
Maybe, I don't know.
Yeah.
But it was like that. They wanted to film with me, and maybe we need to set up like real trailers of both of us and put them on the website, and maybe more people will find us.
Right, and you said that before. You said, yeah, it's not the greatest idea to go out and pursue something just for the sake of making money. That is, of course, right. That is not how we got into Cardistry. That is not how we started doing this event. It just ended up being a path where it is now possible for us to earn a bit of money, which is a great opportunity, and we are willing to take that. The thing is that even if you are doing Cardistry, and even if you are now hearing this and say, hey man, maybe I could do that too, just go ahead. Google, if you are based in the US, if you are based in the UK, if you are based wherever the fuck, if you are based in Wilhelmshaven, I don't even care, if you're in Germany too, if you're competing with us directly, go ahead, do it. Like, you heard it here first. Not first, but like other people have done advertisements as well and stuff, and hand-doubling. But you see, there's a market for that. People are looking for this some of the time. Probably not as much so that you could earn a living from that. But you can go ahead, if you want, go ahead and hit up some of your Cardistry friends, set up a website and offer Cardistry hand-doubling to
also
people. Just do it. That is what we are going to do in our website whenever we have our own website where we will have a page for that, because already people are finding us, and if we do that, then probably more people will find us.
And also the really secret information in here, because special for you because you listened for so long already. I also heard that there are websites especially made for people working on film sets and for actors. And so you can just sign up on websites and say, hey, I'm an actor, and if somebody needs an actor, they can look on that website and find you. And maybe you can go on there and say, hey, I'm a hand-doubling person, I'm a cardist, I'm whatever. I haven't signed up to the website, so it's kind of weird that I give that advice. But if you don't want to make your own website and say, oh yeah, I'm doing that, there are also websites already where you can just sign up. And if you had projects already where you worked on the set, you can like list them there, and they can like check out the project and check out who you worked with and stuff. And so they get references. So you don't only need an own website. Sometimes people look on existing lists of people that are available. And
yes, and they find you. And I think that is really the moral of the story and what I want to...
And there are not many cardists. We tried to find a female cardist.
Yeah, that was really... If you are a female cardist, or even if you have slightly female looking hands. I think I do, but they didn't want my fucking hands, right? But there is a market for that. People are looking for slim, tender kind of hands, smaller hands.
They
right?
ended up taking a guy. Like
Exactly, yeah. And that could have been you. Watch it
If you are
right now.
female.
Or if you have female looking hands. So, yes, in any way, I think what I really just want to highlight again is that because there has been this recent kind of conversation about earning money with cardistry again, and some people are really disillusioned with it, and it feels like still some old school cardists are kind of dropping out of the hobby, and you know, it
feels like much is slowing down in cardistry,
Exactly.
and that definitely also has to do that it's like that you need to make money in life in general,
right.
and that it's hard with cardistry, and just some people can do it.
Yeah, and so we just wanted to encourage everyone again, guys. If you go ahead and put yourself out there, you can't expect, if you put your fucking Instagram videos out all the time, like every other cardist is doing, that at some point someone is coming by and handing you a bag of money. You can, of course, sure, there are brands. We are right now working on doing our first solo videos with people, right? With sponsored artists.
Might still take some time. Don't
Right, of course,
like
yeah.
Next week or something it will.
We are going ahead with that, and when
we're planning.
People with big brands work together. Maybe they have the opportunity to earn some money through that, but not on a big scale, right? And I'm really fed up with this idea that I feel like so many cardists kind of have a hard time with explaining what they do to the mainstream. And of course, if someone does not want to do that, that's totally fine. Just hang out with your cardistry friends, online or in person. If you have some in person, just do your thing. But for everyone who is interested in trying to maybe earn a bit of money with that, maybe make some of these cool experiences, because also, it's, as you said, it is just a great experience to be on a film set, right? And everybody has a chance to do it, especially if you are watching as a person who does not have a lot of cardists in your vicinity. That makes it even better, because there probably is some regional fucking TV production, and whenever they want to film a poker scene, they might as well hit up you to do the handdoubling, right? So, and yeah, I just want to say that. So for everybody who's kind of complaining about that, take a look in the mirror and see if you are really getting after it and trying to put yourself out there, or what you maybe could do to make more, to put yourself in the way of receiving more opportunities like that. Because there are obviously ways. We did it totally by accident. We never planned for this, and the people just hit us up.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why not a person who especially tries to make something like this happen shouldn't be able to be even more successful, get more jobs like this than we do. So.
Yeah, and I talked to friends from my city, just friends outside of cardistry, about that.
Friends. I thought you were talking about a guy named Franz, was it?
No.
Friends.
I talked to some friends about this who don't have anything to do with cardistry, but I just talked to them and said, oh yeah, I was on the TV set and I was like playing a role in that TV show, in the TV series. And they were like, what? How did you like get the job, and how did they find you? And I was like, yeah, they wanted to do something with cards, and so they hit us up, and they needed someone with cards, and I can do that. Mm-hmm. But they were like, but there are like more people who can do that, right? Like, because they don't know that it's such a unique thing, and that there are not many people. Like if you look at Germany, you have like one person in each city basically, but there's like not like playing football. If you want to make a movie about playing football, yeah, okay, you have more people. But with cardistry, it's really exclusive, and you don't have many people.
Yeah, the thing is, even if you Google it, if you Google cardistry, if you try to search it, it is difficult to find, because most people aren't trying to be found. Yeah. And that is another thing. That is totally fine. But for everybody, then there are some people who are kind of like, oh man, why can't I? They're kind of mad about the fact, why can't I make money with why don't make more people do cardistry? Because we all, honestly, and that is something I'm really not about, I think we as a cardistry community, in many ways, are not doing a good enough job of inviting new people into our community. We just don't. Yeah. I truly think that. Yeah. And we can all do more for more new people for once come and join into this hobby. But we can also, if you want to, you can do more to try and be found. Because just to put it into perspective, again, it is not like we have a website which says Cardistry handdoubling. Do you want to film a casino scene for your TV show? Hit us up. We are the perfect people for it. We don't have that. We don't even have a website. Yeah, we will have that, of course, now. But up to this point, we only have a website which is called hertz.berlin. on hertz.berlin, there's a small subpage, which is called Cardistry Experience. On Cardistry Experience, you can see some information about our Cardistry event, but there is no contact information. There's an email. But then the people go on the hertz.berlin website usually, go into my impressum, like my terms and services, and in there is my, like, because I am the person responsible for it, there is my private phone number. And then they call me up.
If you guys want to have the private phone
If you want to get my, just slide into my SMS if you want. I'm looking forward to it. But just to put it into perspective, it is not like we have streamlined this process, but still there are people who are looking so desperately for people to do hand doubling that they go through this and try to, on this web, like, I mean, they could even, when I see a website like the Hertz Pro website, I probably would think maybe nobody reads the emails, right? We had that. We had so often sent mails to people and never gotten a response, right?
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty funny story. I think we can say that actually we had in the past, we had the situation where we wanted to get a sponsor, especially in the first event. We sent out so many mails to brands. We wanted to sponsor Cardistry Experience, but they never got back to us. And actually one of the brands that didn't get back to us then slid into our Instagram DMs and asked us if they could sponsor us. So they didn't...
For the third event.
Exactly,
right,
so they didn't respond to us sending them an email, but actually then came back and wanted to sponsor, which is so funny.
And it didn't end up because they were late and we already had the sponsors full. It wasn't like we didn't have anything against them. Just so you
the spots were just filled up.
Yeah.
You know, so. But that was such a funny story. So again, it could be just as well that someone called me. I think, oh, this is a fucking spam call, dude. You know.
Yeah.
But so you, just to hammer this home, really, you have to be willing to put yourself in these situations where you can also take chances, right? So yeah, I think yeah, we have.
Yeah, and just be open for anything.
Yeah.
Like, also, maybe another funny story, doesn't have much to do with all of that, but I think I didn't tell you yet. But I was in Enschede, where I'll be studying. I was there like a week ago, and I was having a jam with Hans and with Olaf. And we were just sitting at the campus, like next to the university, like next to one of the buildings. And we were just sitting there on a bench with a table and just jamming there. We were just sitting, having a jam, showing each other moves, doing stuff, just the three of us.
Yeah.
And then one guy walked up to us and said like, oh, you guys are doing cardistry. And we're like, what the fuck, you know cardistry? Come, sit here, join us, jam with us.
Yeah.
We handed him a deck and he was sitting down talking about how he was a bit into magic a few years ago, and so he knows about cardistry, and he was able to do like a Charlie cut.
Yeah.
He wasn't able to do much cardistry, but he knew about it and he was interested about it, and he was like, oh yeah, if you guys are here hanging out here more often, I might get back into cardistry again, and I might start again. And I think
so cool.
I still have some decks at my parents' place, and I might get them and bring them here and start with cardistry again.
Right.
I ended up handing him a deck and said, yeah, take this, use this if you want to get into cardistry.
What kind of deck did you give him?
An out-of-play deck.
All right, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's all right. That's
Not the one from the company that...
Okay.
No, but... so that was like a really nice experience just to meet someone. And that is, for me, it's the greatest thing. And I love to give them decks or anything if I know, okay, he is like truly interested and he comes up to us and is curious about cardistry. And I think many people in cardistry are so scared and so shy and don't like to talk to others. But really meeting others, and I don't say that only as an event promotion, but meeting others is a fucking great thing.
For example, at our event Cardistry Experience, tickets not available yet, unfortunately, but soon maybe.
Yeah, so just be open in general, and you will have nice connections.
Yeah, that's a really nice story actually. You haven't told me yet. But and also doing cardistry in public. I know it is for some people. I know some people who don't do cardistry in public like at all.
Yeah.
Except for jams.
Yeah.
I love that. I always, when I sit in the train, I want to do fucking cardistry, and I do fucking cardistry. And if I drop the cards all over another person, mostly like. You know, I don't really worry about that. I'm not like embarrassed by that or something.
But do you also have it that sometimes people try to secretly film you?
Yes, totally. Dude, I had, that is the craziest thing. I think I might still have that screenshot still. I had, when I was in school, right? I think I was 16 or something, and I had this weird super dry jacket I was always wearing. It was not the black one, actually before that even. You
Okay,
you don't even know that anymore, probably. It was a blue jacket with a yellow zipper, and it had kind of a weird thing going on. So that is why it was super easy to see. And I had long hair, not as long as now, but I was a weird looking kid, I have to say. I was a weird looking kid. And so I had that, I was doing Cardistry, and I had that also noticing some people sometimes recording other people. And then my buddy Justus actually, he showed me a picture one day where he said, dude, you're not going to believe this. And he showed me a picture, and it was basically me doing Cardistry in the subway, but it was filmed like from 3 seats away, right? And I was like, what the fuck is that?
How did you get it?
And so Justus, my friend Justus, said, dude, I was with Simon. Simon he was like older than we, but he was also kind of a friend of ours from the school. And Simon, a friend of Simon, so my friend Justus, his friend Simon, a friend of Simon, had in his Snapchat, in his fucking Snapchat story, back when Snapchat was a thing, had this.
I think Snapchat is still a thing.
Snapchat is fucking nobody. If you're using Snapchat, then you can fucking turn off this podcast right now, man.
A lot of my friends.
But it's a Wilhelmshaven thing, dude. It's
I think so.
Like in a real town, you wouldn't do that.
Yeah. I don't use Snapchat anymore.
But the guy, the friend of Simon, so Simon and Justus were hanging out, and then Simon was looking through his Snapchat stories of other people, and then there was this guy who had this clip of this kid.
But like a random guy.
This weird, just like a friend of Simon, whatever, just a person. They knew each other, so technically it was like over 4 corners, right? Around 4 corners. But there was direct connection.
It wasn't like the friend taking a picture of that one sitting next to you and saying, "Oh, I see you," and you are like randomly in there.
No,
like it was actually a picture of you.
It was a video actually. It was a video of him filming. So, and the thing Justus showed me was a photo of the video playing on the phone of the guy, which was crazy. So, and I didn't notice that, but actually I was.
You never told me about that.
I was able to go back into and find out which day that was exactly, because we kind of were able to reverse engineer where I was going on the train.
Yeah.
And I still remember because I was sitting like this way. I was sitting in the 4-seater on the left side, and he was sitting like across on the other side, 1 4-seater back in the right side at the window, right? And he was kind of like recording over the seat, kind of, and zooming in, you know. So yeah, and also that as a little anecdote, but that was so funny. That was a great story, and people also in my school, everybody thought it was very nice, which is cool because usually it's not something that's considered cool by too many people.
In my school, I didn't show it around much, so I really showed it around way too much when I started out with doing magic, like in 9th or 10th grade.
Right.
I was also doing it in class, having cards in my hands and doing stuff. But when I got in 11th grade, I stopped doing it like in school, and I didn't do it at all. So my friends knew that I did it. And I had the Instagram page, of course. Like I still have like a private page, so friends follow just the private page.
If you want to test your friendship with Mattis and see if you are really friends, then try and follow his private account, and also see if you can get into his private story, private Instagram story, because that is what shows that you're real friends with someone, especially Mattis.
I don't use the private stories.
I don't either. I don't know why anyone would use that.
I thought you use it and you just don't have me.
Yeah, actually, I just try to hide that.
No, but he talked about the private. Like I did that once or twice to try it out or to do anything. I don't remember.
There's one person, we can't say who it is, but there's one person, and he is actually in their private Instagram story, and I'm not, and that makes me so mad. I'm really sad. So. You all check if I'm in your private Instagram stories, and if not, you better fucking add me, right? So.
Yeah. Also, if you don't use that, please add us and start doing those just to make us feel better.
Just for us too. You can just communicate with us directly. I think that would be pretty great.
But also, I had like some people. Okay, no, I won't say that. But sometimes it's also weird when people post those private stories and you feel like you have to watch these because they choose you to.
I don't. I just skip it either way. I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck.
There are also so many Instagram stories on my.
Don't expect me to watch any of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
What was the story I was gonna tell you now? There was something I had in mind.
You have too many stories, dude. It's fucked up.
Okay, we'll save that one for next. No.
So I just want to finish up with like the thing we were saying about also doing Cardistry in public, being recorded and stuff. That sometimes is odd. And also if some fucking guy is recording you, if you're doing Cardistry or not, right? Then you better step fucking up and tell them to leave it be if you don't want that, because nobody obviously you have to write, especially if it's kind of secret to recording, that's fucked up in a way in and of itself, right? In these cases, I think it was kind of funny and I didn't mind, but just to, put that out there, obviously everybody has a say in that. But just what I wanted to point out with that is that there are people noticing, and some people have difficulties with going up to people and saying these things. I, for example, like that. I had a couple of moments, not too many moments in my life, but some moments where some people, maybe in the subway or in the supermarket, came up to me and said, "Hey man, love your outfit, love what you're wearing today." Right? And that was so, because that is such a seldom thing. But when that happens, that was so crazy. I remember those times so vividly. And that is something I try to do. Whenever I'm out and I see someone with a nice outfit or or doing something interesting. For example, one time I met at the port in Hamburg, I met a guy doing kendama. I went up to him and was like, "Dude, you're doing kendama, that's so cool. Do you need me?" He was filming a clip. I was like, "Do you need me to hold the camera or anything?" And I told him that I have some friends doing kendama, right? And he was really appreciating that. So people do notice. And for example, we are traveling a lot in the last few months and years. I know Mattis also, he's sleeping in some hostels. I love hostels as well. These rooms where you sleep with 10 people, like in a room, in a bunk bed. And cardistry is such a great way for me to just get in contact with some people. If I'm just sitting in the lobby doing some cardistry, there's always someone coming up and saying, "Oh, what is that?" Or sometimes even on the train or on a plane, whenever you are with other people, if you just do it and don't fuck around, like doing a spring and really loud moves all the time, or throwing cards or dropping them everywhere, right?
Shout out Zeno at the €9 ticket tour. He was learning the riffle shuffle and he did it all the time in the train.
He was doing it the entire time in the train, like hours upon hours. It was crazy. I specifically set like multiple spots away from him, so people didn't think I was associated with him then. But everybody can make that choice for themselves. But if you don't annoy people with it, then it might as well happen that you meet some new people with it, right?
And oftentimes people will also not come up to you and not say anything about it. I've so often that people pretend to not see it or pretend to not care about it. Sometimes they also don't care.
Exactly. Most of the times probably they don't care, but sometimes there are people who are kind of secretly looking, which is also kind of odd. When they are like, then you look them in the eye and they are like this, and then they look back. But
I was like,
that's just how it is, right? You are doing a weird thing in public, right? So you have to, like, for example, over there are people playing boccia, boule, and that also is kind of a weird thing. So I look at it all the time.
Oh, but he did it pretty well.
He fucking nailed that shit. But I think that is to be expected when you're doing an unusual thing in public. Then obviously it's going to attract people's attention. It's just how it is.
I had it once that I was in the train doing cardistry, and then I'm looking at the cards most of the time, but I don't have to look at the cards all the time. So sometimes I'm also looking up and looking around.
When I'm in public, I mostly do no-look cardistry. I always look around and kind of try to meet people's eyes and smile at them.
But then people don't look at the cards at all anymore when I do it, because they don't want me to see that they look at the cards. But one time I looked at the cards and then I looked like out of the window, but it was pretty dark already outside. So the window was like mirroring the picture. And I was looking at the cards, looking at the window, and I looked like through the window directly in the eyes of a guy sitting like on the other side of the train, like inside the train, because I was like, he was watching the reflection on the window to look at my cards. It was so weird that I caught his view, his eyes directly, but then he was like looking away and pretending to not care about it. And I think that is also so normal at this time, that people try to pretend they don't care if somebody does something weird, and if like, just say that you like it. Like you said, some people have a cool way of dealing with that.
But then again, just to put it the other way, I also think, because I've just shared that I appreciate those times so much, and I try to be better with that too. When you see something in public, you think someone has a nice shirt on or whatever, feel free just to say that. Some people will look at you funny, and they're like, "Oh, what the fuck do you want from me?" But just to go out of your way to say something nice to a stranger is a great thing to do. And you can't expect that everybody, like if you do cardistry and somebody looks at that and thinks, "Oh, that's kind of cool," you can't expect them to come up. All we are trying to say is, if you do that, and some people do cardistry on a daily basis, right? If you do 365 days in your fucking bus do cardistry, might as well that on a couple of those days some person comes up to you and says, "Hey, what are you doing?" Right? And even if not, that's cool too,
Yeah.
And also, yeah, I think it's a great thing if more people would just, if they see something cool, say, hey, that's pretty cool, right? Have a nice day. You know, I think that would be nice.
Yeah.
I try to do that more than I'm doing currently. So, I think that's a good haul, isn't it?
Yeah. So let's go get some food.
Yep.
I'm getting hungry. You eat cookies all the time.
I've
during
ate
the
a lot of
podcast.
cookies already.
I
I'm going to
don't-
continue with that now.
I didn't want to do it for the podcast for you guys.
Yeah, dude, I fucked the audio all on my own.
Thanks
dude.
for that.
You could have done it too. I'm just going to show you guys the park we are in right now because it is kind
And
of
the
nice.
camera turns off.
We
Oh, no,
we were in the fucking in the sun in the beginning, but then the sun quickly dipped behind that building over there, which is kind of sad. But it is how it is. This is the park we're in.
Show the people playing pool there.
This is people playing pool.
This is what I made during the podcast.
Mattis has made some beautiful art. If you want to buy that, let us know and we will put it in the shop soon. Because we are broke as fuck still. Beautiful. Yeah, this is where we are in Lille. If you are in Lille too and want to meet up, then feel free to hit us up.
It's probably too late if you're listening to this right now.
That is actually right. But maybe we will be in Lille another time. And actually Tristan is in Lille too, so you can reach out to him as well. We are going to go back to our space. It's that way. And yes, thank you all for watching.
Or listening.
Or listening. Any last words, Mattis?
Go to France. I don't know.
Go to France.
So that's my recommendation of the month.
Meet your friends, and if you don't have a friend named Franz, then you should make a friend named Franz. That's it. See you next month.
Au revoir.
A bientôt. Ist das